Hey guys, voiceover Ishi here. I've had a few people ask how I make my terrariums, so I thought I would do a quick video. I'm gonna provide all the links in the description of to where I buy the things. Note that I do often buy things in bulk, so the prices that you see aren't usually what I pay, which is why I can offer the great prices that I do. I'm also gonna give you links to all of the tools that I use, not just the plastic. So for instance, here's the Dremel. I bought it at my local Home Depot, I think, maybe Lowe's, I can't quite remember, but and so the nib I use on this one here it was a ball nib that you use to like smooth things out, but the tip broke, so now it's just a sharp, smooth, pointy metal piece. And when you do drill, you'll want to keep it on a high speed, because you're actually melting the plastic, you're not sanding it away, so high speed will help make sure you get the smoothest interior on your terrariums. These boxes, I'll have the link down below, are my new model. I can't source the old boxes I was using, but I actually find that these are a little bit better anyway. For jumping spiders, I flip them upside down, and for mantises, I keep them in the regular orientation. I'm going to start here on the lid. So I've got my cardboard template out, it's nothing fancy. When I start drilling these, instead of holding the template up the whole time I'm drilling, I just do little pips on the surface of the plastic so I know where to put the holes. That way I can actually see a little bit better while I'm drilling, and also I don't end up getting little cardboard bits stuck in the plastic. That was the first mistake I made when I started making these. And then you just repeat this step on the other side, making sure you keep your template in the correct direction, because some of them are actually, it does matter which way they go. This one, it actually doesn't, it's the same either way, but just a good manufacturing practice. And then once I get them done on the lid, I move on to the body of the terrarium, and I do the exact same process. I just line up my template. This one you'll see here in just a second looks a bit different. The T stands for top, if you were curious, because it goes on the top. The line of ventilation I have on the bottom I found has been really important to keeping hydration good in my terrariums. That way excess moisture can evaporate out through those the bottom holes without building up, so you won't get sort of fog stuck on the inside of your terrarium. But it does still keep it relatively humid, so I highly recommend, if you're making terrariums yourself or you're buying something similar, to either add this ventilation along the bottom or see if the manufacturer, like I, have it down there for you. And I missed one here, so I just do it again just to show you, because when your templates match your design perfectly, it's pretty easy to do that. Now, I always practice partially to heat up the nib for my Dremel, because when it's hot it makes the plastic melt a little more consistently, but also because sometimes, it's been a while since I've made one of these, so I was just wanting to get into the mood. If you hear my dog whining behind me, I apologize, but I've already done like 3 takes of this and I don't want to do it again. So when I do Dremel these, I go by feel more than like measuring or anything like that. So it will take a bit of practice to get the hang of. I'm just using an old terrarium here to practice on. And I try to get to where the plastic just sticks to the nib, and then I wipe the excess plastic on a towel that you see here. This, I feel like, gets me the most consistent holes, and that way when I am finished drilling it'll be completely smooth on the inside, which is what I aim for. I've had mantises try to molt from the ventilation holes before, and I find that if they're smoother on the inside, they are much less likely to do that. So I always go, I kind of messed up these first couple actually because I didn't practice enough, so I would definitely suggest practicing more and waiting until you're confident. So I do turn it sideways here to kind of show you what it looks like, because I always drill top down. This I find is easier to keep it completely vertical and more consistent. So that you see what happens when I didn't drill far enough in, the plastic sticks to the inside, and then you get kind of a knob of gross plasticky bits hanging on in there. Now I suggest when drilling that you do keep it vertical, so you do top down. I find this is the most easy orientation to keep a straight line in. And I don't have as much success when trying to do like angled drills into it. I think a straight through, you'll get the best result. So that's what I do. I just did a few drilling from the side so it would be easier to see on camera. Once you get, the hang of it, it goes pretty quickly. I can whip a couple of these out maybe in like 10-15 minutes, but it may take a little longer at first, especially if you're working with new material, new plastic, new Dremel, all that sort of thing. So be patient with yourself. Try not to be too upset if it doesn't look perfect the first time. If you don't have access to a Dremel like this, or you've already got like a soldering gun, I had a soldering iron that I used originally. I found it was a little bit messy, so I didn't really like the finished product, but it did work, and it was actually quite a bit faster than the Dremel, so that is an option for you if you don't really mind how it looks. You don't even have to use a template if that, you know, isn't as important to you. I really like mine to look nice. That matters to me a lot. I struggle looking at them if they're ugly. So this way, they're efficient and they're pretty. And that I really enjoy it when things look nice. So the circle along the bottom of my terrariums here, to keep those straight, I do drill a straight line through it and then add the sides. This helps make sure that it's all lined up properly, and they tend to look a little bit better when I do them that way. Make sure that you just keep consistent with it. If you hold your Dremel straight up the first time, hold your Dremel straight up and down the second time, and every time after. Or if you keep it at an angle, try to keep it at an angle, and that's how you wind up with the best result, at least in my opinion. If again, if look doesn't matter to you, you can do whatever you want, honestly. You can easily add more ventilation or less ventilation. It's all up to you. These are the way I like them. If you guys want like to order them from me but you want a custom pattern, that's something that we can look into doing. I've thought about doing like logos and patterns on the side. Once you finish your dremeling, your terrarium is done, really, for all intents and purposes. You could just fill it with sticks and substrate here and it is totally functional. I'm just running my hand along the inside to make sure all of these little holes are perfectly smooth on the inside. They were, so I didn't have to retouch any of them. But it's pretty easy to take your Dremel to the inside and just smooth them out. Once you finish your terrarium, yeah, you're just ready to use. I like to add these little sticky feet to the bottom of mine. I think they're actually designed to prevent cabinets from slamming closed. But since I set mine on a wooden surface, they do tend to slide a little bit. Adding these little silicone these little silicone feet does prevent them from sliding quite so much, and also I think it just looks nice. It makes it look more finished and not just like I took a plastic box and drilled some holes into it and put a bug in there, which is exactly what I did and exactly what all of you should do. Keep bugs, they're awesome. The lids on these are also like a friction seal, so they stay on pretty well in case you accidentally tip it over. I mean, people who have cats, I feel like, have frequent issues with cats trying to eat their bugs, so a friction seal I think is really nice. This here is kind of my secret weapon. It is a mesh designed for, I think it's cross-stitching. I don't know, I'm not crafty in that area. But it's flexible and it's easy to cut through, and it provides a great grip for little mantis feet. I put it along the back wall and the lid in my enclosures here. And I have had pretty great success with even species that do struggle to grip to plastic, although for those types of species I do tend to try to keep them in a mesh cube instead of plastic like this. But this works really well for grippy surfaces, and it's like a guaranteed way for them to get to the lid if they do fall. I 100% recommend you put something like this at least along the top of your terrarium, and then provide a way for your mantises to get up. It's much better to have something for them to grip onto to molt. It's required, really. They'll fall and then you'll wind up with a dead mantis. So make sure you have something. It could be burlap, it could be tulle, you could put some lace up there, you could theoretically drill a bunch of holes, although that seems like a lot of work. I secure this with 2-part epoxy I know is food grade, so it's safe for the bugs. You could use hot glue, you could use epoxy resin, you could use super glue. Just make sure you let it air out real good if it's super glue. And then I find it's really convenient to like stick stuff to on the back. So for my jumping spiders, for instance, I stick all their little decorations to the back piece, and then if I need to take it out to clean it, it's not too much work. And everything stays pretty well secured. You also want to make sure that there's no way for your bug of choice to get behind the mesh. They could get back there and get squished. So make sure you secure it pretty well. I think hot glue is probably your best bet, high temperature hot glue. It's not going to melt the plastic, and it's got a pretty good hold to it. So that's my recommendation. Now, this video is a giveaway. Hey, if you've lasted this long, you know, now you're going to know about it. I will be giving away one of these terrariums. I will fill the terrarium with, you know, the back plate, the top mesh, all the holes. I'll send you some rocks, some moss, and a little flower as substrate and decoration, and probably some Mantis goodies like some feeding tongs or a spray bottle or something fun like that. The way to qualify for this giveaway is if you go in the description and you're the first person to tell me what type of dinosaur is on my pinky nail. You might have noticed I have painted nails and they have dinosaurs on them. Tell me what dinosaur is on the pinky nail by July 2nd. Not July, it is July. By August 2nd, and you will win a terrarium from me, shipped anywhere in the world. Since it's no live animals, I can ship it anywhere. Usually I primarily only ship to the US, but I'll make an exception here. And if no one figures out what dinosaur it is, which I'm pretty sure you guys will, you're all pretty smart, then I will pick one of the people who tried by August 2nd, and you'll be the winner. If this is a pretty successful giveaway, I might give away more stuff in the future, so keep an eye out. Here's the finished terrarium. I haven't glued the pieces down because I didn't want to work with epoxy while I was trying to film. There is a bit of leftover gunk, but, you know, crafting, that's what happens. You can decorate at this point. I use these flowers from the dollar store. They're nice and pretty. I use rocks. I think I show them here in a second. Yeah, I use these river rocks. I think they look nice, and they don't like build up a bunch of moisture or dirt like cocoa fiber does, and they're pretty easy to rinse out and clean, so that's why I use rocks. And I tend to put a little bit of moss on top of that. And that's what I do for my terrariums. They're pretty nice, I like to think. So if you're interested in one for yourself, you can enter the giveaway. If it is after August 2nd, you know, giveaway's over. Sorry, you missed out. But they are going to be available in my shop for the foreseeable future. So check out my shop, see if you're interested in one there, and maybe pick up a few. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for stopping by. Oh, I just was showing here that you can either glue it to the lid or the body of the terrarium. It's totally up to you. I tend to glue mine to the body for cleaning purposes, but yeah, you can glue it however you want. That's the convenience of making your own. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to enter the giveaway if you want one, and you know, keep checking back for more mantis and now spider videos because you guys seem to really like the spider videos. I'll see you next time.